Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of The Believer's Nugget. I'm your host, DaVante Live, and coming up today we're talking about legacy versus impact. And it's a conversation you don't want to miss. Starting right now. Hey, yes, that's right, you heard correctly. We are talking about legacy versus impact. How can your impact outweigh your legacy? That topic is to come, but before I delve into that topic on today's show, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors over at Just Believe Promotional Marketing Group. They are helping us put this show on, and I just want to show them some love. So if you want to stay up to date with what's going on here on the page and stay up to date with me, just go to Just Believe Marketing and subscribe to our messenger bot, and every time we go live or every time we make a post, you will know about it. So that's that. Now I just need some people pick a I'm twisting up my words a little bit on today. I just need some people to smash that like button and to pump some hearts right now if you're ready to get into today's topic about legacy versus impact. What do you live for, your legacy, or what do you build for, your impact? What's the difference between the two? Well, we are getting into that now. Now, I want you all to give me 5 if you're ready to figure out about your legacy versus impact. Just type 5 in the chat and that will subscribe you to the show so you don't miss a beat and you're notified the moment we go live. Yes, that's right. The moment we go live, you will get notified right in your messenger via the Believe bot. All right, let's get right down to it. Legacy versus impact. Over the past 2 months, 8 weeks, I've gone to a lot of funerals, both in person and both virtually. And at each and every single one of the funerals, I've had the chance to attend as well as to speak at. The thought that came across my mind, whether the person was young, old, or a celebrity or not a celebrity, or just an everyday person, was that their impact outweighed their legacy. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. And if I believe one of the key fundamental things as a person and as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, you have to realize is what I'm doing in my life currently at this moment, is it going to leave an impact on others so severe that they come to my funeral and that they're mourning me and that they're mourning me in the weeks, months, and years to come after my death, because my impact on their life was greater than the legacy that I could ever leave for them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to all of you out there watching Believe Nation, I want to tell you that each and every single one of the funerals I went to whether big or small, that the individual's life's impact definitely did outweigh their legacy. For example, what do you mean about what do you mean, DaVante, about making your impact outweigh your legacy? Well, let me put it to you like this way. Can I tell you a quick story? All right. It's not really even a story, but let me give you an example, if I may. So, your death certificate, or not even on your death certificate, but on your obituary, there are 2 dates. There's your birth date and your death date. But in between those 2 dates is a dash. And what I'm talking about is the dash in the middle, that little hyphen between the day you were born and the day you departed this earth. And what that dash symbolizes in between your birth date and your death date is the impact that you left on this earth. Now, some people, the impact that they leave on this earth transpires in the last few months prior to their death. Some people, they have been blessed with the gifts and the opportunities to leave an impact that started from the time that they were young from the age of 14, 15, all the way until their death date. They made their impact on this world great. I went to a young man's funeral by the name of Josh Merchant. Me and him were truly good friends. He was a cousin. He truly left an impact on this world, on the city of Columbus, that will far outlast his legacy. How did he do that, DaVante? Because every person he came in contact with, he always greeted you with two things: a big hug and a big smile on his face. And boy, could Josh blow, too. Yes, Josh was a singer, and a phenomenal one at that. He touched everybody from the time he was in high school to the time of his death, and he died at merely the young age of 38, I believe. Very young guy, and it was sad to see him depart this earth. But baby, I do know he's in a better place. But what I can tell you is that at his funeral, there were two things. Number one, there was not a dry eye in the church. And number two, there was not an empty seat in the church, because the impact that he left on this city, that he left on this country, that he left on this world outweighed his legacy far beyond what he could ever give us financially. Now, today, what I'm trying to get through to you is this: are you making people feel a certain way, that they gravitate towards you, that they, when something happens to you, that they garner to you, that they feel for you, whether the thing that happens to you is life-threatening or not life-threatening, sad or happy? Do they come to you and do they experience and do they share the emotions that you share, that you hold? Well, I could tell you that Josh Merchant, when he passed, his impact on this country outweighed his legacy. I'll give you another person's whose impact outweighed their legacy. The Queen of Soul herself, Miss Aretha Franklin. Her impact on this country, on this world, on you, on me, far outweighed what her legacy as the Queen of Soul would ever be. Her impact, she challenged us with songs like "You Better Think About What You're Doing," or "Respect," RESPECT, or "We're on the Freeway to Love" in the pink Cadillac. What the Queen of Soul did with her platform, what I'm trying to do with this show, is to make you all and to let you all understand that your impact, the way you make somebody feel, must outweigh what you could leave to them at the end of your time here on this earth. Let me put it to you in another way. All of your money, all of your earthly possessions, you cannot take with you. Because let's face it, the Egyptians tried it, and all they did was got robbed. They tried to build pyramids. They tried to take all their earthly possessions, all their riches, all their clothes, all of their bling, all of that with them, and put it in a pyramid so they could come back and get it after death. And all they did was get robbed. Yes, I said all they did was get robbed. So, are you going to get robbed of your legacy? Or are you going to make your legacy one that your impact, because of the impact you have on people while you are here on this earth, Will it outlast the legacy? Will your legacy get robbed? Or will your legacy be one that nobody really thinks of because of the impact you had on the earth? It far outweighed your legacy. You know, all I want is people to do when I die is to say, that was a loving man. That was a God-fearing man. That was a man that would give you the shirt off his back if he asked. That was a man that kept it 100 with me. That was a man that poured his all into the believer's nugget. That was a man that poured his all into everything he did. And he didn't leave none on the field when he was done. Because he gave his all. Because his impact, my impact, outweighed what I could ever leave to you after I leave this earth. That's all I'm trying to get through to you, is that your impact must be greater than your legacy. So I have another question for you. I want to frame this in another way for you. Will, or rather, don't let this moment pass you by. Don't let another moment, or even this moment in particular, pass you by without taking a moment to reflect on whether your impact on this society has it been one to touch the hearts of others? Has it been one that they will remember you by, or will you just try and leave them money? Or will you just try and write them into your will for some reason? You can't write everybody into your will. And to be honest, some people just won't have a will. But what I'm trying to ask you is to take a moment out of your day and to look deep within yourself, to dig deep, and make sure this dash in the middle, that this time that you have before you leave this earth, will it be so impactful that it will outweigh and outlive and outlast whatever you could leave the people who are supporting you, whether it be financially or physically, or whether it be as a customer or as a client? Will the impact you had on them be far greater than what you could ever leave to them afterwards? Well, we're all out of time for today on today's episode of The Believer's Nugget, but never out of a daily dose of inspiration. Remember, you can type 5, just give me 5 right now down below in the comments, and that will subscribe you to the show. And every time we go live on The Believer's Nugget, you will be notified right there in your messenger via the Believe bot. And thank you for joining in today, and I'll see you next time, because the impossible is always possible if you just believe. See you.